Hey guys, here's video number 2. This is for the second assignment that we did, which is the assignment about the jetpacks. So I'm going to switch over to try and show you what we're dealing with. I also wanted to show you a little something you can do on Google Docs to make grids. So here we go. And we're going to look at the document that I made. Okay, so for the first problem, we needed to have a table of some kind. You could have just described it because the question was if you did the fraction 4/10 as shading a grid, what would it look like? So you could have just said you would shade 4 out of 10 blocks. You could have taken a picture of doing that, or you could have used, or you could have inserted a chart, or let me see what I've got here, a table. Now the table that we need would be 10 wide, but only 1 thick. So there's our table. It has our 10 slots, and all we have to do is put an X in each one of the slots that we would do to show 4 out of 10. Ta-da! It's pretty easy. Just to go back over that, you would go to Insert and go to Chart. No, wait, go to Table. Table is the one. And then you literally just drag it out as big as you want it. You could have gone 1 by 10. And done it that way. Wow, now we have a table within a table. We're going to undo that. But that was just one way you could have tackled that. So let's look at our picture of what we've got. For the second problem, to express 4/10 as a decimal. Most of you guys did exactly the right thing, and that was to take and put 0.4, because this way the 4 is in the tenths place. The next one caught a lot of people off guard, though. For that one, it says rewrite 4/10 as an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. That got a lot of people, and I think some people are still struggling with that. So we're going to look at that real fast through our camera. Okay, so if we have 4/10, and we're trying to make this into something where the bottom number is 100. This is the denominators. And this is the numerators, although they didn't use that term. Okay, so one thing that we studied a lot earlier this year is that if you take a number on the bottom and you change it into a new number, you want to know what you multiplied the first number by to get the second number. And the best way to do that is to divide. So if we divide 100 by 10, we can see that 10 goes into 10 one time, and we would subtract that. Then we bring down our 0, and we know that 10 can't go into 0 because there's nothing in 0. So we can go into it 0 times. So the thing that we multiplied 10 by to get 100 was 10. Whenever we do something on the bottom, we have to do the same thing on the top. So we also have to multiply by 10 up here. And 4 times 10 is 40. So the way that we would put that in our computer as an equivalent fraction would be to just write it like this. You could have even put something like 4/10 is equal to 40/100. So that's the accurate answer on that one. And I know most of us want to reduce that, but in this case, you don't have to, because it was specifically asking to get that answer with the 100 on the bottom. Okay, so let's look at the next thing. The answer on 2B, you're doing exactly the same thing that you did on 1C, except there's a 9 on top this time. I think you can figure out where to go from there. You also did really well on doing 2A, which was basically the same as 1B with a 9 in it. Here is where some people had trouble on number 3. Browning wears a fuel pouch that is 55/100 meters long. And they wanted to know, can you write that as 5.5 meters? A lot of people recognized right away that this was not equivalent, that you couldn't do that, but some people had a hard time writing out why. Some people got that if you are dividing by 100, you're really moving the decimal 2 places. So instead of being 55, you move your decimal 2 places, and you've got 0.55, which is not the same. And so you wrote that 0.55 is not equal to, or you could write it out in words, in a decimal is not a whole number. And that was also a good explanation. So anything like that where you demonstrate that the answer we would have gotten is not the same as what they put and why is fine. All right, let's look back at another problem that people had trouble with. I think that was actually most of it. Some people had trouble describing what was going on number 4A and 4B. So 4A, we have 33/100. And if we just follow our same rule, we know that that's going to be 0.33. For 4B, they want to know if 2 engines are lined up end to end, is that going to measure more or less than 1 meter? First, we have to know that we were dealing with meters all along. So here, where we're in question 4A, and we have our 33/100 is written as 0.33, that is meters. So on 4B, if they're saying I'm having 2 engines added together that are both the same length, that is only going to give me the same as adding ordinarily, which would be 0.66. Like we said on the last problem, if it's not out in front, it is not a whole number. So, and therefore it can't be a whole meter, because a meter is equal to 1.0 meters. So this is definitely less than that. To explain it in a way that got you credit, you could write it down just like this. You could write that it adds up to 0.66, which is less than 1, which that's fine. Some people did 33 plus 33 is equal to 66, which is less than 100. And that was fine too. I took all those answers. Just figure out what makes the best sense to you, because they're all correct. All right. Thanks a lot. And let me get back to our meeting view. And I think we're pretty much done. If you have any other questions, let me find you here, because I know you're here. Ah! Okay, if you have any other questions, next week we're going to do something on model trains, and the week after that we're going to do large size trains. So if you have any problems on those, don't hesitate. Get a hold of me. We can work it through just like this. I can post another video, whatever it works to get us through this, right? All right, take care, and I will see you next time.